I still remember how it felt, my back against the kitchen wall, my legs trembling, and his strong dark hands wrapped around my waist. Levi was not soft, and he did not ask twice. His voice had thunder in it when he told me to turn around, and I did without a word. I pressed my palms flat against the wall. He lifted my skirt without hesitation. I gasped, not because of fear but because of the size of what I felt between my thighs. It was thick, hot, and terrifying. I told him I was not ready. He growled, "Yup, take all of it," and I did every single inch. I bit my lips so hard it tasted blood. My heart raced like it was trying to outrun the sin. But in that moment there was no guilt, only heat, only need, and only Levi. To all my loyal subscribers, thank you from the bottom of me heart. You are the reason this channel is alive, and to all new and returning viewers who have not yet subscribed, it truly cannot wait for you to hit that subscribe button. Do not forget to drop your thoughts in the comment section. And me name is Scarlett, and I never imagined me life would turn out this way. I am 37. Recently divorced and trying to start over in a quiet suburb just outside Atlanta. I moved into a small apartment complex, just enough space for me and my regrets. Life was supposed to get easier after the divorce, since attic got lonelier, colder, and broker. Levi was my landlord, a tall, dark, stunningly sculpted man, with that smooth confidence that made you think he could talk the stars out of the sky. He drove a black Collinger, wore gold chains that shimmered against his skin, and smiled like he knew every secret a woman had ever tried to hide. I never paid him much attention at first until rent was due. It was the 5th day of the new month. I had just gotten home from my shift at the diner. I was tired, sweaty, and my bank account was exactly $2,357 in the negative. I knew Levi would show up. He always ested when someone was late. A knock came at the door. I opened it slowly, my body already tightening with anxiety, and there he stood. White t-shirt, gold chain, fitted jeans, and that look. At that look, Tat said. He knew I had nothing to give. "I was going to call you." I said quickly. "Yeah," he said, stepping inside without asking. "What were you going to say?" "That I just need a little time. I'm good for it. I just you think time keeps me." Lights on. His voice was calm, but sharp like a blade wrapped in velvet. "Is swallowed hard. I will have it by next week, promise." He closed the door behind him, walked slow way toward me. I stepped back. "Scarlett," he said, "I could evict you today, but I will not." "You know why?" You shook my head. "Because you got something more valuable than rent." My chest tightened. "What do you mean?" Mina's ice moved down to my hips, then back up to Maya's. "You are a grown woman, I am a grown man. We do not need to play dumb." I should have kicked him out. I should have slapped him, but I froze because deep down, I was not shocked. I had seen the way he looked at me. The hunger, the heat, and worst of all, I had looked back. "I can it," I whispered. He stepped closer. "You saw you can." His hand brushed my cheek. I flinched, but I did not move away. And when his lips met mine, it was like something inside me snapped. We kissed hard, hungry like we had been starving. His hands were everywhere, for my blouse hit the floor. In seconds, I was panting, confessed, overwhelmed. "Wait, Levi, I am not ready for you. We'll take it all," he said again, gripping my hips. And I did, right there in the kitchen. He bent me over the counter, pulled my panties to the side, and slid into me with one smooth, slow push that made my knees give out. I screamed, but not from pain, from shock, from how deep it was, how full I felt. Never been filled like that in my life. He grabbed my waist tighter, moved with a rhythm that shook the dishes and the cabinets. Every thrust echoed off the walls. I was moaning so loud I thought neighbors might hear, but I did not care. I wanted more, deeper, harder. He gave it to me like a man possessed. When it was over, I slid down the wall, my legs too weak to hold me. He zipped his jeans, looked down at me, and said, "Rent ishandled for this month." Then he walked out. I sat there half naked, my heart pounding, my thighs still shaking, and all I could think was, what the hell have you just done? But deep down, I knew I would do it again. I did not sleep that night. I lay there tangled in the sheets that still smelled like Levi. My thighs ached, my lips were swollen, and my mind was spinning. I kept replaying every moment in that kitchen, the way he moved, the sound of his voice, the way my body had responded like it had been waiting for him all along. I should have felt ashamed. I should have cried, but I did not. Instead, I touched myself under the sheets and whispered his name as I came again. This time, all alone. The next morning, I tried to act normal. I showered, brushed my hair, catcher on my dine, and headed out like nothing had happened, but something had changed. I walked differently, sat differently, and Levi knew it. He was standing in the parking lot. But when I got home from work that night, leaning against his car, like he had been waiting for me, his eyes locked on mine, and I felt my legs go weak again. "Come upstairs," said I. Hesitated. "Levi, about Woothapond." He opened his apartment door and walked in without answering. I followed. His place smelled like Coligny, expensive weed, Bottle of Hennessy set open on the table, a blunt warning in the ashtray, the lights were low and played softly from the speaker in the corner. He poured me a glass and handed it to me. What is this? I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. It is the new arrangement, he said simply. You come, when I call you give me what I want, I'm a cashier. You stay in your place rent-free. Mr. Mac twisted. That sounds like a deal, he interrupted. One that works for both of us. You want to keep waiting and barely surviving, be my guest, or you can let a real man take care of you. I stared at him, glass in hand. He was serious, and I hated that a part of me wanted to say yes, but I needed to understand why me. You could have any woman in this building, he chuckled. Becky's, you look like everything you should, not touch blonde soft clean, but that mouth of yours says otherwise. And your body, baby, your body begs for it. McKeeks flushed, but I could not deny it, not after the way I had moaned for him tonight. Before he stepped behind, placed his hands on my hips, and whispered in my ear, tell me no I dare. But I could not. He bet me over the kitchen table this time, pulled up my skirt again, like it was a habit. Now I did not resist, I wanted it, craved, it needed. He went deeper than before, rougher. His grip tighter, my moans louder. He pulled my hair back and whispered the filthiest things in my ear. I responded with gasps and cries that echoed through the apartment. When we finished, I stayed on the floor, sweat dripping from my brow, legs shaking again. He lit another blunt and offered it to me. I took a hit. It burned, but I welcomed the haze. This issue, it works now, he said. No questions a strings, just come when I call. And in return, you stay protected, safe, paid for. I nodded. I had already crossed the line. What was the point in pretending I had morals left? For the next 2 weeks fell into a rhythm. Every time I heard a knock at the door, I answered it, naked. At every time he walked in, he took wave wanted, and I gave it on the floor, on the couch, against the window in Thesaur, once even on the stairs, with the front door wide open. I should have felt degraded, but I felt alive. Then came the shift. I was at work, wiping down tables, when my co-worker Lacey leaned in close. You seeing someone? She asked. Ephros, what you glowing? She smirked and walking funny. I forced a laugh. It is nothing, but she kept watching me, studying me. I knew I was not hiding it well that night. Levi came to my place with a different tone. I want you to stop talking to other men, he said. You belong to me now. I blinked. I thought there were no strings there, and now he backed against the wall again. Same place he took me the first night, but this time it was slower, softer, more intimate. He looked into my eyes, while he moved inside me, kissed my forehead, touched my face, and that scared me more than anything else, because I was starting to want him, not just his body, but him. Button came the twist. A week later, I got door. You are not the only one. No signature, just those words. I rushed to Levi's apartment, heart pounding. Who else are you seeing? ID. Demanded. He looked at me, amused. You really think you're Reethy? Only one I look after. My world tilted. You said I said you belong to. May never said I belong to you. That night I cried myself to sleep, but when Hawk knocked the next night, I still opened door. I should have locked my door that night. I should have drawn Theblins, turned off the lights, and let me swallow me whole, but I didn't. I opened the door again. Levi stepped in, just like every other time. I melted. Me heartbeat like it was in a fist. I hated him for what he said. Hated him for that smug look, for making me feel like an option, but more than anything I hated that I still wanted him. He kissed me like nothing had happened, like the note in my door was a figment of my imagination, like the hollow in my chest meant nothing, and I let him this time. It was on the balcony. The night air was cool on my skin, but his hands burned everywhere they touched. He gripped my wrist and rocked me against the railing, whispering things that made my toes curl and my eyes roll back. I moaned into the upon air, too far gone to care, who hard too broken to stop it. Afterward, I sat there wrapped in a throwbill, anchor my cigarette trembling between my fingers. Am I really just another one? I asked, barely above a whisper. Levi shrugged. Do you want honesty? You were supposed to be one-time deal, a pretty little rendodger with a sweet mouth, but then you kept coming back. So did you. I snapped. Bess, you are addictive, he said. But I never promised love, Scarlet, and that waist problem, I never asked for L. Oh, but me heart had gone and caught fire anyway. The next day I started pulling away as, topped answering his text, stopped opening the door. When he knocked, I even started flirting with a guy fro work. Acquiat nerdy dishwasher named Robert Hoberly made eye contact, but who looked at me like I was not something. Too abused. Robert took me out for tacos. Held door, laughed at my dumb why, told me I was beautiful with no agenda behind. I tend for a moment. I remembered who I used to be, who I still could be, until Leva found out. I came home one evening to find him standing inside my apartment. He had a key. Of course, he had a key. You think I will let you play house with some white boy who smells like dishwater? He growled. Get out, I said, backing away. You do not owe me his smile. Twist it into something colder. You are right, I don't own you, but I do own this building, and you own me. He stepped closer. Yao went me gone, pay what you owe. All of it with interest. I stared at him, stunned. You said rent was covered. He laughed deep and sharp. That was before you acting brand new. I wanted to scream, cry, throw something, but I stood there frozen. Fine. I said I will mow the. He grinned. You cannot, your lease locks you in for 6 more months, and baby Knockord is going to side with a broke blonde waitress over me. That night I realized something terrifying. Levi was not just a lover, not just a landlord. He was a trap, and I had walked into it willingly. 2 weeks passed. I avoided him at every turn. Robert stayed over sometimes. We watched movies and made out like teenagers, and I told myself I was moving on until the night Levi saw us together. It was late. We were coming back from a late shift, laughing in the hallway when he stepped out of the shadows. I did not say a word. He just looked at me, and I knew Robert my cheek and walked into my apartment. I stood outside facing Levi, like I was bracing for war. You do not get to be jealous, I said. You lost that right. I never lost anything, he replied. You are still here, you are still mine. Here he etched. I'll brush my hair behind my ear. His fingers lingered. I could make things very uncomfortable. Or your little boyfriend, he whispered. Or for you. I wonder what your boss would think if he mentioned you let your landlord arrange your insides for a rent discount. My blood ran cold. You would noti, said. He smirked. Try me that night. I broke things off with Robert. He did not understand. He begged me to tell him what was wrong. I could not without ragging him into the hell I had created. I cried for hours after he left. The next time Levi came over, I let him in like nothing had happened. I let him stir me, let him lay me down, let him whisper everything I used to crave. But I did not respond. I stared at the ceiling, numb like a corpse, and when he finished, honest, what is this? He asked. Where that fire? I looked him in the eyes and said, she died. You killed her. Hello. Quietly that night. No words, no kiss, and he did not come back for days. I used those days to pack a plan. I scrap a togger their money, begged my boss for an advance, and found a woman online willing to sublet her guest room 2 towns over. She did not ask questions. She needed the rent. I needed the escape. One night while Levi was gone, I moved quiet fast. No goodbyes. I left behind my beady, my couch, me shame, but not the scars. Because the truth is I never really escaped him. Noth memory of his touch, not the hollow feeling he left behind, not the version of me I lost along the way. If you made it to the end of Scarlett's story, I appreciate you deeply. Do you think Shaw made the right choice by walking away? Even if it was late, drop your thoughts the comments. Let me know if you want more twisted raw stories like this one. Your support is the fuel that keeps this channel alive. We sincerely thank you for joining us for today's special story. If you enjoyed it, we kindly encourage you to subscribe to our channel, give this video a thumbs up, and share your reflections in the comments below. Your continued support inspires us to bring you more meaningful and engaging stories every single day, and click on the video above to see more inspiring stories. My dear